going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John, back again from a very warm, sunny Goodison Park here on seat 58, 57. Before we start today's video, I just want to talk about a couple of content creators who are, who we absolutely love to pieces. And we've had a few comments in just essentially asking us to check in on them because, we may have their numbers and whatever. So firstly, one of them is Cam from the Mighty Blues, and I did catch up with him, and he's absolutely fine. He's just having a little bit of a break away from YouTube for a little bit. He did do a video for Kevin Campbell and showed his love towards Kevin. So, but I think he's just having a break. And then you guys mentioned about Rose yesterday, and there was a lot of love for Rose in the comments. There was a lot of love. And a lot of people saying how much they miss her. So I did speak to her on WhatsApp, and it's difficult to say this because I've been there. And fortunate enough, John was there to sort of pull me out of it, and that is why John is on the channel now. Actually, sometimes making content is really difficult. For various reasons. It might be the stuff that you talk about. It might be the fact that Everton are horrendous. It might be the fact that you hate doing it, you lose the passion, and it could be things at home. And whatever the reasons are, it is what it is. It's free time that we put into it. Rose wrote a lovely message back to me, and she said thank you for all of your support and your love, guys. So she really appreciates us. She commented on both me and John, and she thanked us for helping her when she launched the channel. And essentially she's having a break from YouTube for a little bit. Some of the comments, some of the things on social media have probably been too much. And when you do YouTube videos and you put your head above the line and it's there to be fundamentally shot at, sometimes it can get nasty and get personal. And I have had it badly in the past. John used to get it quite badly as well in the past. We've both had some bad stuff on social media said about us. These things happen. So we send Rose our love, obviously, and Rose is absolutely fine. She's really happy with life. Everything's good. She's just having a break from both YouTube and social media. And if and when she comes back, and even if she doesn't, she knows she's always welcome on the Blue Boys Network if she wants to give her opinions on Everton Football Club. I just wanted to say that, John, just at the start of the video. I think it's always important. Mental health and everything like that means more than this.
Yeah. It's correct, a lot of people don't watch videos all the way through, so it's good that you've put it at the beginning so people do see the important bit that you wanted to get across.
Thank you, mate. And the other thing that I wanted to also say, I mean, we're 5 minutes in, by the way, and we haven't even talked about Everton yet, but the other thing I wanted to mention is we made a comment towards the end of yesterday's video about percentages of unsubscribed to subscribed. You lot went mad yesterday, and off the back of yesterday's video, we've now achieved over 430 new subscriptions in the last 3 weeks to the Blue Boys Network on Twitter, on YouTube, which is astronomical compared to what it's been for the last 12 months. So I just wanted to say thank you. I think it's really important. Thank you so much. It doesn't stop. Make sure you're sending this link to all your friends and your family, making sure that they at least subscribe. And if they can chip in and watch every so often, we're very grateful. But we appreciate there's more to life than watching YouTube videos. For all the subscriptions and the people that follow the channel, it always helps. So thank you. And if you can keep pushing for us, we really appreciate it. Right.
Exactly what he said.
John, I'm gonna lead it to you now, mate. To be fair, we've seen the bit of breaking news that's come out in the last hour, so you can lead with that, I suppose, mate.
Yeah. So the breaking news that's come out is looks like Everton and Atalanta have agreed on a fee between 10 and 12 million for Ben Godfrey.
Not that news, John.
Well, well, I don't know any other news.
Oh, God, have you not heard? The takeovers fell through, John.
Shut up, your tip. Yeah, so obviously we're doing this video now. Obviously, you'll probably all be aware of it when the video's out, that Everton and Atalanta have agreed a fee between 10 and 12 million by the looks of it for Ben Godfrey to make the move. Personal terms apparently were agreed in June between the player and the club. There was other clubs interested in Ben Godfrey. But all I want to say on that is Ben leaves with my best wishes. You know, we did talk about Ben Godfrey last night, you know, that he suffered with long COVID. And again, there was a few people putting in the comments last night about I had family members who were really suffering with long COVID, and he doesn't know what long COVID is. Listen, we don't know that. We don't know how it affected Ben. We don't know how it affected these people's families who have put a comment in the comments. And if that's to be believed, then me and Michael send our love to the relevant people who are suffering with long COVID, people who watch the channel and any family members that they've got. Anyway, niceties out the way. So listen, yeah, Ben leaves with my utmost respect. When he did pull a blue shirt on, he always gave his all. I'm not saying he's always a 10 out of 10 player, 8 out of 10 player every game, but when he did put the Everton shirt on, he made sure he come off that pitch with sweat on that shirt. And that's all, as Everton fans, I've always asked. You know, Ben Godfrey's replaceable, but I think I will follow up on what you said last night about making that move to that league. He will settle in really well there because he's the sort of player. And it was reminding me last night, Michael, that Italian league, when you mentioned it. We had a player called Marco Materazzi that come from that league at Goodison Park. And he just fitted in. And he was the sort of centre-half that you got the feel and could play in most leagues because he read the game well. He could bring the ball out. He was good in the air. He could put a tackle in. You know, as I say, he read the game well. Ben does that in the Premier League. Marco Materazzi done it in the Italian league. So they sort of swap roles now, if you see what I'm saying. And I think Ben Godfrey will go there. And as you quite rightly said last night, he's probably one of the best centre-halves in that league.
I think he'll fit in fantastically. And just to echo John's comments, you know, Ben Godfrey, he showed me some of the best slide tackles I've seen in the blue shirt. I mean, he really, you know, some of his tackling at times was fantastic.
His timing was fantastic.
I love it. And his timing was brilliant. I mean, there was a couple last season. He obviously broke his leg a few years ago doing one. He always, as you rightly say, John, he always wore the shirt. He always tried his best. And, you know, even when he was played out of position, I always felt that, although he's clearly not a right or a left back, I always thought that he at least tried. You know, he didn't give up on his job. He always stuck in there, whether he was having a good game or a bad game. I always loved that about Ben Godfrey. And from a PSR standpoint, it works. His book value apparently is £4 million, which is absolutely scandalous. But apparently his book value is 4. We sell it for 12. That means £8 million gets put on our PSR bracket, which is great. Which probably means that we are now safe from any PSR ramifications. It also means we can keep Jared Branthwaite. And I was going to ask you about Jared because there's a particular YouTuber you really enjoy listening to because you find him funny, which is Mark Goldbridge, John.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video that he's done talking about Branthwaite?
No, to be honest, I haven't. Now, if you would have told me you were going to ask me this, I would have watched it.
No, don't worry. It's quite funny because he basically says that it's a disgrace that Everton are being brats, and it's a disgrace that we're not selling him for Manchester United money, and that we're selling other players because we don't want Man United's money. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. if this means we keep Branthwaite this season, then that is great news, isn't it? I mean, that is great news. It's almost like the news that we want, isn't it?
But the thing is, Michael, if we can manage to keep Jarrod Branthwaite this season, and even if it is only for this season, and we spoke about this a couple of videos ago, offer him another 12-month contract, but put a release clause in it. So if clubs don't meet it, he stays. It doesn't seem like the kid's pushing for a move. Going back to Goldbridge, he seems like one of these self-entitled fans who support, well, he's not even a Man U supporter. He actually supports Nottingham Forest. So I don't know why he carries on the way he does. He's actually a Forest fan, or he must support both teams. So he goes on YouTube, and he's mentioned it on TalkSport, because he's got a slot on there as well. And he gives it all the big I am. And he comes across like one of these self-entitled Man United stroke, I'm not calling not Forest fans entitled, by the way, but that's what he is. He's not a full-blown Man United fan. But the way he comes across, it's as if Man United have this entitlement. Whoever they want, they can have. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. And what I like about the situation we're in now with Branthwaite, job and chipped away at the PSR situation that we were in. Now we've gone and sold Ben Godfrey by the looks of it. That's another big chunk off it. I won't go as far and ahead of myself as what you've said, where we should be okay that now with PSR, because we said that 2 or 3 videos ago and something else cropped up. I mean, don't get me wrong, we might be okay for PSR situation even without selling Ben Godfrey, but I think it's pretty clear Ben Godfrey wanted to move to get some game time. That's why he goes with my wishes. He's never sulked. You know, he's been out the team for quite a while, and when he's come in, he's give us all. Back to Goldbridge, yeah, self-entitled fan who, because they've got this massive platform, they're one of them people who think what they say should be right. Well, I'm sorry. I hope now Everton have the right people in place now for us not to go and sell Jarrod Branthwaite or, you know, our up-and-coming stars for the future, where in the past we've crumbled. We've refused the first bid, then they've come in with another £10 million higher, not meeting the valuation, nowhere near what that player's been worth at Everton Football Club. But we've crumbled. And I seen a tweet Alan Myers put out last night, and responding to someone saying, you know, it seems exciting. Someone asked Alan Myers, and things seem to be going on behind the scenes. And Alan Myers' response was, there seems to be the right people at the club now, running it properly, doing the business right. So if this means that we're not going to crumble and give in and shit ourselves when one of these so-called big clubs comes in and tries to take our stars from now on, do it right. Give us the value or go and jog on. And I hope the people who are coming into the club now, these new owners, the new board members, the new CEO, whoever it may be, start running us like a business now and not just bowing down to these so-called big clubs who go, even for other clubs, Michael, they do it with other clubs as well, not just Everton. They see a talent and they try and get them on the cheap, and then they sell them for 3-4 times the value in 3-4-5 years' time. Everton aren't going to be like that anymore. So if Man United want Jarrod Branthwaite, and if Goldbridge wants Man United to get Jarrod Branthwaite, then they need to pay the going rate plus more, because in my opinion, he's the best English centre-half in the Premier League. And I'd go as far as saying, I think he's going to be better than John Stones.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Right, let's talk about another player that there's a bit of rumour circling around in Leeds, and I'm just going to show you a little clip from one of my friends, Connor, who runs the One Leeds channel. So I'm going to show you that clip now.
Player. Now, this one, you know, we spoke about Willian Onso before, we spoke about AC Milan, we spoke about Roma. It's looking like Everton's interest, now the Jack Harrison deal's done, suddenly from the blue side is starting to gather a little bit of momentum now. We're seeing more and more publications saying Everton are interested, Everton are still keeping an eye on him, Everton are definitely going to move for him, and it's from the blue side as well. You know, a lot of this isn't from the Leeds side, because we know it's very, very in-house at the minute. It's from the blue side. You'll be able to find that across the rumour mill regarding Everton. I think it's always going to be an obvious move for him there. You know, I think the likelihood is that they're going to be starting a little bit more with a Dan Juma, not a Dan Juma, sorry, a McNeil and a Jack Harrison. You know, options, but this is the issue with Willie Gnonto. If he goes to the Premier League, he's going to want minutes. For Leeds United, I know it sounds daft, but he was playing week in, week out. He was the star boy for Leeds. So is he going to want to go to Everton and play second fiddle to a McNeil and a Jack Harrison, which in a Sean Dyche system is going to be what happens? And this is why I was questioning earlier, is there going to be, you know, and Nancy was saying as well that she believes that it's going to kick on after the Euros. We're going to see a lot of our big assets gather a lot of interest, and you're expecting it to be that. But Willie Gnonto is going to be so interesting because I genuinely can see him staying at Leeds, because I just wonder if the options, I mean, look at Roma, De Rossi, according to sources, is a big fan. AC Milan, obviously, were the bookies' favourites for many weeks, and Everton have always been there or thereabouts. They're probably the three clubs you're looking at. But the interest is always going to be very, very fascinating with Willie Gnonto, because I don't think is he fully committed to Leeds. We saw him change agents. You know, the agent that he was previously with was with Zaniolo, and Zaniolo's got a different club every 2 minutes, and it felt very agent-led. What happened with him last season? Has he changed his mindset a little bit, or did Leeds just say, look, we'll give you one more year, fella. Just give us 1 year, and then we'll see where we're at. But the year didn't go as well as Willie Gnonto probably hoped. So there's so many different scenarios here, but I probably do expect Willie to move on. But it's going to be interesting to see how quickly this happens, because now it's starting to circle a little bit with Everton. It's starting to get a little bit more intense when it comes to rumours, and that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But keep an eye on the Italian clubs. As I've said, you know, AC Milan's signing odds are always in like the top 3 when it comes down to those bookies. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens, everybody.
Okay, so that was the clip, and as you can clearly see, he's talking about Willie Gnonto coming to Everton. So, John, what would you? Rumours are swirling that Everton may still be interested in Willie Gnonto. We obviously were linked with Minte, and we were linked quite heavily with. Well, we were linked with Gnonto really heavily last year, and apparently we put in 5 bids or something stupid.
Yeah.
Do you think Everton will go for Gnonto? Because there's a lot of Italian clubs interested as well.
Yeah, I think the way Everton went after Gnonto last time, I think they sort of fell out with Leeds in a way, you know, because we really pushed for him, and he is a player, same as Ndiaye. We mentioned this last night on the channel. And Gnonto is a player that Felwell has been interested for a long, long time, and it just proves, as you say, we put numerous bids in last season. So it's obviously a player who they want at Everton. Do I see it happening? If they will sell to Everton, and if the fee is right, then yeah, I do think it happens, because I think Willie Gnonto really, really wanted the move to Goodison Park last season. So if the rumours are to be believed again, that Everton are back in for him, you know, and they do let him go, he's a player I'd like to see at Goodison. Again, we spoke about this last night. With the players that we're linked with, we're going to change the dynamic on the way we play. He will add to that, because he's got pace. He can run at people. He's got a great shot on him when he goes past his man. He can put good crosses in. So again, if you bring players like that in, and Ndiaye, and indeed he could be close for seeing a few reports today, that could happen in the next few days. You're bringing in players that excite the fans, but you're bringing in players who will change the way Everton have played for as long as a good few years now. So again, Gnonto comes into that bracket. The players we're linked with, including him, will frighten teams, but we've just got to obviously get the manager to utilise that right. But yeah, I'd have Gnonto at Everton. Do they sell to Everton? I suppose it depends how much money that you've got to put up front for them.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, really, because we don't know Everton's finances. You know, there's not really a player that Everton can swap with Leeds. You know, like they were doing with this Minte deal, you know, which involved Calvert-Lewin, and it just, I don't know how it works. I mean, I would like him. I think he's a very good player. His attitude concerns me a little bit, because he had a bad attitude with Leeds. It also concerns me a couple of things around, he's recently changed his agent, which, I mean, that's a positive, but his agent is somebody that moves players on every 2 years. I mean, I think he's got the same agent as Zaniolo, and he's been to 4 different clubs in 4 years or something. So that worries me. But yeah, I do think it could happen. But yeah, that's it. I haven't really got anything else, John, unless you have.
No, it's been a quiet day in the world of Everton for a change. We've had a mad couple of last couple of weeks, haven't we? You know, where rumours and the takeover exclusivity starting and players being linked away, and obviously we're linked with players coming in now, and we've signed a couple. But on the face of things, today's been quite a quiet day regards Everton, which, as I say, we're not used to. Hopefully our video tomorrow will have a bit more different news and positive news. I do think Ndai's close, and I think indeed he will become an Everton player before the end of next week.
There you go, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you soon.